Hi everyone, in this video we will talk about social anxiety. We will look at the signs and symptoms of social anxiety. We'll understand the causes of social anxiety, and also I'm going to share with you some things, some tips on how to help a child with the social anxiety. First of all, let's see what it is social anxiety. Social anxiety disorder, also called social phobia, it is a mental health condition. Social anxiety, it is an intense, persistent fear of being watched and judged by others. And this fear can affect work, school, relationships, day-to-day activities. Children with social anxiety disorder struggle with excessive self-consciousness that goes beyond common shyness. Kids with social anxiety disorder worry so much about being judged by others. Um, they stop even doing the things that they need, they have to, they want, they love for the fear of embarrassing themselves. Untreated anxiety can lead to isolation and depression. When children have social anxiety, they are afraid of situations that involve interacting with other people. They worry that other people will think badly of them. Social anxiety can prevent children from joining in everyday activities like classroom discussions and parties, from trying new things, from making lasting friendships. Children with social anxiety are extremely self conscious about how they appear to others. Some kids with social anxiety are focusing on performance. They are worrying about things like speaking in public or trying out for a team. Some kids are afraid to be in the spotlight. Kids with this type of anxiety might fear things like going to school, eating in public, meeting new people, even having a conversation. Children with social anxiety might express anxiety by asking questions like, "What if I do something stupid?" or "What if I say something wrong?" Some children might show up their anxiety through tantrums, cry when they are confronted with the situations that terrifies them. So, what are the signs and symptoms of social anxiety disorder? Some of the signs and symptoms of social anxiety disorder can include persistent fear of a situation in which you might be judged, worrying about embarrassing or humiliating yourself, intense fear of interacting or talking with strangers, with unfamiliar people, fear that others will notice that you look anxious, fear of physical symptoms that might cause you embarrassment, such as blushing, sweating, trembling, avoiding things or speaking to people out of fear of embarrassment, avoiding situations where you might be in the center of the attention, avoiding parties or social gatherings, going to work, to school, starting conversation, fear of reading loud or answering questions in the class, fear of talking to other kids, fear being in front of the class, fear of attending parties, fear of friends visiting you, refusal to participate in activities or school, um, eating in front of others, fear of entering in a room which people are already sitting. Some of the physical symptoms might include blushing, fast heartbeat, trembling, sweating, upset stomach. This is what I struggle with. Dizziness, muscle tension. These are some of the physical symptoms. Now, what causes anxiety disorder in children? Well, some children are simply born more anxious and less able to cope with stress than others. Children can also pick anxious behavior from being around anxious people, from negative experiences. Children who experience teasing, bullying, or humiliation might be more prone to social anxiety disorder. Another reason a person struggles with social anxiety is the feeling of inferiority, lack of self-esteem, and lack of confidence. Some children develop anxiety after stressful events such as frequently moving houses or school, parents fighting or arguing, school-related issues like exam or bullying, having or having an appearance or a condition that draws attention. It can trigger anxiety also. Untreated social anxiety might lead to a risk of other mental health problems later in life, such as depression, eating disorder, substance abuse, even self-harm. Now, how parents can help? How to help? Well, first of all, being a good listener is going to help, and let your child and teen know that what he or she is experiencing can be overcome. Remind your child that of the past successes and build his or her self confidence. Be a detective. It's not fair to expect from a child to answer quickly to a question like what are you so worried about. It's not going to work. Try to get more specific. Ask, for example, and what's the worst thing that could happen at that party, or if you go to try that new activity. Is there anyone in a particular way that makes you worried to if you go to that party, or are you how are you so sure that this will happen? There is always a story behind social anxiety. There is always a reason for it. Asking questions can help you understand how your child views the demands of social interactions. The more you understand about your child concerns, the more you can help your child develop a plan for success. Another thing is to teach problem solving skills. Children with social anxiety disorder tend to become a master of avoidance. They do what they can to avoid engaging in situations that cause them most anxiety. While this might seem like the path of least resistance, it can actually make the social anxiety worse over time. So teach your child to work through feelings of fear and anxiety by developing problem solving skills. If a child fears public speaking, for example, he can learn to practice several times at home in front of the mirror, having a conversation with someone, or speaking in front of the class. You can ask the child to record while doing that presentation, and then watch again that video and see where he needs to practice more. Help your child identify and his or her triggers, and brainstorm potential problem solving strategies to work through those triggers. Another thing that any parent can do is to be close to the child, listen without judgment. Speaking to someone about how you are feeling, about your worries, negative thoughts. Speaking to someone who understands and listen to you without judgment, it is so powerful. That's why being the person who the child can trust and feel comfortable to share his feelings, his worries, it is so important. Another wonderful thing you can do if the child is not ready to speak is to ask the child to write a letter. Ask the child to write a letter to explain how he is feeling and why, what causes him to feel this way. Another idea is to ask the child if his or her best friend, or if mommy or daddy will feel how you feel, will think how you think, will have the same worries as you. What would you tell them? How would you help them? Building self-esteem, it can help also. People with the anxiety disorder often have low self-esteem. Feeling worthless can make the anxiety worse in many ways. Self-esteem is known to play a role in social anxiety. So low self-esteem can create anxiety and loneliness, which only reinforce your negative self-image. Low self-esteem is not a life sentence. Low self-esteem can be improved. Low self-esteem can be changed. Teach social skill. For some kids, starting conversations with a stranger and making new friends, it is easy and fun. For other kids, fitting in, it is uncomfortable, it is difficult, it is a painful process associated with a lot of fear and worry rather than excitement. Kids often need help learning social skills in order to become more capable of creating and maintain friendships. For kids who are struggling to make friends, it might be helpful for you to try to coaching some social skills at home. Practice interactions that might have with friends, with role playing and using scripts, which are simple conversation subjects and starters that they can practice with you. Practicing the things that make your child nervous actually expands his ability to handle them. Knowing things to do and say is not the same as feeling comfortable doing and saying them. So, role playing can help children to practice their new skills so as to give them a feeling of comfort when putting plans into actions. I hope these ideas will help you, will help your child. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.